Hello, everyone. My name is Ashab Lodhi, and I'm Assistant Alumni Outreach Officer, Puan Punjab. And today we are going to talk about orientation towards Alumni Small Grant. And we have a very special esteemed guest with us today. We have Paul Giblin, who is Public Diplomacy Officer from U.S. Embassy, Islamabad. And we have Mr. Waqar Khan, who is Alumni Officer from USCFG Islamabad office. Hello to you both.
Good afternoon.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you. So today we are going to talk about the orientation towards submission of alumni small grants, that why alumni of US exchange program should apply for the small grants, what are the benefits of it, and what is the process, and what are the tips that we are going to learn from the experts sitting here that will help you to score the grant that is going to help in providing help to your community under the US mission goals. So I'm going to start with Paul. Would you like to tell our audience about why should we encourage the alumni to apply for the small grants? What's the benefit for them in that?
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. And I just want to let everyone know I'll be reading off some notes so I don't forget anything. First, on behalf of the U.S. Embassy and the Pakistan-U.S. Alumni Network, we're delighted to talk to all of you about our small grants program. You might already be aware that these grants are intended to support new voices, to provide educational and economic opportunities for Pakistani youth, to create engagement opportunities between people of Pakistan and its neighbors, to advance the public good, and to promote community service in Pakistan. During the past 9 years, the Alumni Network has supported more than 260 of these grants, and the great majority of them were proposed by the alumni. The grants have empowered alumni to strengthen their understanding of the United States and the American people. It's important to note that this year, the proposals are going to be accepted until Monday, the 31st of January of this year. And you need to submit all your proposals online. We know that since the starting of the pandemic in 2020, the alumni have faced difficulties conducting in-person activities. We appreciate your continued interest despite that, and we appreciate your leadership in shifting from in-person programming to virtual programming. Unfortunately, because of the ongoing COVID-19 situation, in-person activities for this cycle will be limited to 100 people. Furthermore, the number of participants in indoor activities must not exceed 50% of the permissible number for the venue. For example, if a room can accommodate 50 people, you're limited to no more than 25 people who participate. Furthermore, your proposals must outline your process for strict observance and implementation of the COVID-19 policies. Now, overall, there are two types of alumni small grant opportunities that are available. The two are special themes and open themes. The special theme grants proposals, are solicited on pre-selected themes that are announced at the beginning of each cycle. So these are the pre-selected themes for the cycle: countering terrorism and reducing violent extremism. The second theme is advancing regional stability, integration, and security in South Asia. And the third special theme is enabling economic growth, development, inclusivity in Pakistan. You can visit the PON blog page regarding sub-themes within these major themes. You might be aware that climate change, public health, and trafficking in persons are some of our priority areas. The open themes are for alumni whose projects do not fall into one of the special themes. Funding is available for projects that hit these marks. They support and develop emerging leaders. They provide educational and economic opportunities for Pakistani youth. They create engagement opportunities between the people of Pakistan and its neighbors. They advance the public good, promote community service within Pakistan. And finally, they increase the understanding of the United States and the American people, or they strengthen the mutual understanding between the United States and Pakistan. I assure you that all the submissions that you submit will undergo a rigorous process of review. And I encourage you to submit strong applications for that very reason. If you need mentorship on how to write strong proposals, the Alumni Network can connect you with senior alumni or experts on the issues that you'll be pursuing. And with that, I have to say, we're looking forward to seeing some really terrific proposals. Waqar, do you have anything to add?
This is perfect. Just wait for Ashab to go on for the next question.
Sure. Thank you, Paul, for the elaboration. Before we move forward to another question, I would just like to tell my audience that we will be taking live questions in the end of the session as well. So please just write down your questions if you have any queries regarding submission of the proposals, Alumni Small Grant. So moving forward to Mr. Waqar, would you like to kindly tell the alumni that who should apply for an ASG and why? Followed by, is there a quota or merit system for the acceptance of ASG?
Yeah, thank you, Ashab. This is a very good question that we get a lot every single time. Who should apply? The first thing is you have to be a USG alumni, meaning you must be a member of a graduate of a US exchange program, US government funded exchange program. So if you have done one of those, you are eligible. So that is your eligibility. Who should apply? If you have a great idea has to be a new, unique, your own self-identified idea. We're looking for a new and unique ideas. So we will not be funding any ongoing projects, continuation of some project. Similarly, it has to be a community-based project. So research grants, travel grants, study grants, they will not be covered under this scheme. So if you think very passionately there is some need that is required around you in your community, in your city, in your village, at your workplace, at your study place, you have a great idea and you think this will benefit a big number of people around your community. You are ready with everything, you just need funds. So this is where one comes in. Develop a good proposal, send us your idea, and a committee will go through it. And this is what we're looking for. The second part of Ashraf's question was quota or selection process. So there is absolutely no quota based on anything other than the merit. You may heard different things, but the reality is we only look at the proposal. So your gender, your program, your age, your area, geographic area, nothing will get any predefined number of proposals. This may happen that if we give 5 proposals approval this time, they may all from one city, or they may be from all different part of the country, or from different programs, or just one program. So basically, the only thing you have to focus is you have to have a good idea and you have to have a good proposal. Ashab?
Right, sir. Continuing to what you have shared, that the idea should be unique and innovative and something that can bring a constructive change in your community. Would you like to share some successful ASG stories or some projects that can inspire our alumni?
Yes, very difficult question because we have done more than 250 grants in last 8 years. And I like all of those. And I don't think I can do 250 proposals right now. But just to, and for all my listeners, go to Quan blog, PAKUSAlumniNetwork.org, and you will see stories about our past grants. But now that since you asked, I remember Farheen, Naveed, and Humphrey, and IVLP alumna. She did a grant on women living with people with substance abuse in Karachi. So that was a very good proposal where she focused on the women who have family members drug abusing, substance kind of thing. We have another one of our very famous but now late alumna, Disability Exchange alumna, Sayyida Najma Shakur. She was also a Disability Exchange alumna, and she did a grant in Azad Jammu and Kashmir that was titled Heal Up, to equip women with disabilities and also mothers and children of disabilities. Rahim Shah did one grant in Quota about entrepreneurship and how the youth of Balochistan can learn new skills and earn money out of this. We had Jamshed Sultan, a legislative fellow program alumnus from Punjab, and his grant was about unhealthy behavior in marginalized social segments in Punjab. So the basic concept was to infuse healthy behavior in rural districts where people have zero to low level of awareness about clean drinking water, safe environment, and general health and hygiene processes. Dr. Bushra Khan, our Fulbright alumna from KP, she did a climate change adaptation and water management for smallholder farmers in KP. There was a very success because she went out of 5 districts around Peshawar. She talked with a lot of farmers and told them about the importance of water, how to use water properly, not to waste water. And this was not only environment friendly, but also for the farmer, it was very efficient cost wise. Maria Qureshi did a couple of small grants, and the last one was about life is spinal cord injury. This was, she selected around 30 people who had these injuries and their caregivers. So basically, it was for 60 people from Rawalpindi, Islamabad, Peshawar, AJK, about 5 or 6 districts. And that was an amazing project because a lot of us and also the patient and the caregivers had no idea how to live with this injury because this is a permanent and you can't fix it. So she engaged specialists, surgeons, therapists, all people, and they came in for 1 or 2 sessions each and told them how to live their life just like a normal people. And then she also told us that there is nothing wrong with these people. They are just like us and they can live, and we should treat them like an equal human, like we have all the same equal rights. And so these are, again, some examples, and I can go on and on, but if anybody is interested in more, I suggest you should visit our blog page.
Well, thank you, Waqar, and I like the way that you included the different aspects of life that are being covered by our alumni in their small grants. We talked about digital literacy towards the healthy behaviors of the marginalized community. We touched the disability. So it's just a message for everyone that you don't have to be specific. You have like an area to play around the themes that can help your community in any way, regardless of the area you belong to or the community you belong to or your interest. So moving on to a very interesting questions that I mostly encounter from the alumni as well. That Paul, I'm going to ask you this question. Most probably you are the more appropriate person to answer this. That most of the alumni ask us that how does the team come up with the ASD themes? So who decides the themes and on what basis?
That's just a good question. Every year, the people in the embassy, we assess what our direction is, just not with this program, but with the embassy overall. And so our special themes will elaborate on themes that the embassy is trying to achieve here in Pakistan. We're looking for partnerships in different areas, and we adjust those as we see a need. And then the themes, our special themes, follow the broader goals of the embassy. The whole purpose of the embassy here is we want to get to know the Pakistani people better. We want them to get to know us better. We feel that there's strong partnerships to be made. So these are areas that we identified, and we think we can have some success in those areas. And that's how we come up with the themes.
Right. Thank you. And moving forward to the next question, since most of the people would have joined us right now. So Waqar, can you just tell about the themes that we have for this cycle so that people can get involved who have joined us late?
Yes, we have 3 main themes. The first one is countering terrorism and reducing violent extremism. The second is advancing regional stability, integration, and security in South Asia. And the third one is enabling economic growth, development, and inclusivity in Pakistan. Now, these are the 3 main themes. And if you visit our blog, you will see sub-themes. And I believe there are around 26 sub-themes within these 3 themes. One of the difference between themes and non-theme based project is if you develop your project along one of these sub-themes, you can request a budget of up to 1 million Pakistani rupees. If you have another idea that you feel very strongly about and you think this is something that is more important to your community and it is not covered in any one of those 26 themes, you can still send us a proposal. The only limitation is your maximum budget that you can ask for will be $500,000. 500,000 rupees. So again, everything is available on the blog. You don't have to write it right now. Whenever you are ready, just visit the blog page and read all the themes and try to see which theme is the one that attracts you or which is very close to your project.
Right, sounds good. So moving on to the next question, now we are coming towards submission of the proposal, and the question would be more technical now. So are there any limitations against which a person can apply for ASG? Waqar?
I'm sorry, which? Ashok? I didn't understand.
Are there any limitations which a person can apply for ASG?
Like
For
I said in the
example,
beginning,
yeah, sure.
any USG alumni that has USG graduated from a USG program can apply. You cannot apply with 2 proposals in one cycle because we already have like a big number of proposals. So send us. There are people who will have 1 or 2 or 3 great ideas and they want to send us like 3 proposals, but everything is online. So once you submit 1 proposal, you will not be able to send the second proposal. Another thing is, if you already have a grant and it is ongoing, you cannot apply again until that is closed successfully. So again, access students, access teachers, anybody who's been to US and USG funded program can apply. Another requirement is you have to be in Pakistan during the execution phase of the project.
Right, sir. And I'll add to one detail in it as well on the basis of our experience that if you are a grantee, your account should be a valid account in Pakistan as well. So if you have moved abroad and you are doing an online grant, so make sure that your grant is active in Pakistan and it's in a local bank so that we can transfer the funds. So moving on to the next question. The question is very technical. It says, can you explain the review process? It's an open question. Any one of you can take this. People would like to know about the review process of their grants because most of the alumni are really not clear at who reviews the process.
Like Paul said in the beginning, we have a very elaborate review process because the goal is to select best of the best out of maybe 80 or 100 proposals each cycle. So there is a 3-tiered review process. All the proposals will go to your respective post, meaning consulate. So if somebody is sending a proposal from Sindh or Balochistan, it will go to Karachi, and similarly, all the Punjab proposal will go to Lahore consulate, and KP will go to Peshawar, and northern areas in Islamabad will go to embassy. There will be 2 reviewers in each post, an American officer and a Pakistani officer. They will review them independently. They will mark them. We have different scoring numbers for different categories within the proposal. We get the average, and then the top one from each post will come to Islamabad. There is a 5-member national review committee, which has 2 alumni representatives, 1 very senior representative from USCFP, and 2 representatives from US Embassy. So these 5-member committee will review the one that has been shortlisted by the post. Again, they will review it fresh, right? Because they've been looking at those proposals for the first time. They will score them, they will mark them, and then the top one, maybe 2, maybe 5. We don't know how many of them are liked by these 5 reviewers, and they will go for the final decision. We may have some minor tweaking, some fine tweaking on the budget or activities, and if the applicant fulfills those, then the decision will be made. Paul, you have something to say?
Yeah, I'd like to elaborate just a little bit. You did a nice job there, but here are the 2 criteria that are really important. One, we need an exciting idea, something that gets us excited and we can see the positive results from it. So the idea is a huge component of it. Another component is the details. We want to know that you've thought out all the details of the program, that there's nothing left to chance. You figured it out before you submitted the proposal. If you can hit both of those, you're going to have a very good proposal.
Right. Thank you, Paul. And I'm just going to take some questions as well. Although, Waqar, you have explained it, it's just a question from Mr. Noman Noor Ali Shah, and he says that are grants under ASG also given to alumni of English Works program?
Yes.
Right. So moving on to the next question. So most of the alumni are really not clear about what basically is allowed for them to uh, use the grant, basically what they can do with the grant. Either they can buy things or not. So my question is, what is allowed through ASG grant? Are alumni allowed to give in kind donation or buy some tangible things, or they can attend conferences or conduct their researches? So it's a very important question that should be clear in the minds of our alumni. How to use the money.
Yeah. Again, just like all my answers, I will start with visit the blog page, and there will be terms and condition and also FAQs and the rules. But to answer your question is, no long-term tangible assets can be purchased with these funds. What that means is you cannot buy a laptop, you cannot buy a camera, you cannot. So anything that has a longer life than your project life is not allowed. And everything else is allowed. You can, if you need a camera or a generator or a laptop, you can rent it for the duration of your project activities. Similarly, the grantee cannot get paid for his or her time and services. Similarly, if you have other POAN members part of the team, they also cannot get paid. If you have people from outside the network, if you engage them for that any services, any special services they offer, you can pay them nominal prices. Cash prices are not allowed. Gifts are not allowed. Buildings, you cannot build stuff, you cannot donate stuff. You can't say, I want to donate books to my village school, or I want to donate shares to. So donations of hard assets are not allowed, purchase of hard assets are not allowed, and giving cash is not allowed. So basically, your activities, for the execution of your activities, whatever is needed, if somebody needs to travel, you can spend money on travel, you can spend money on accommodation, you can spend money on food, and that includes POAN members. So if POAN member is traveling or staying, you can spend money on those, but you cannot pay them money for their services like per hour or per day or salary kind of. Salaries are not allowed to POAN members. On the one hand, we encourage you to have involve other POAN members as part of your team, but flip side is you cannot pay them. This is a volunteer network, and we expect you to give something back to your community, and we'll help you in this regard.
Right. Thank you, Mubakar. Moving on to the next question by our audience, I'll refer it to Paul. Paul, somebody has written that I'll have a very inclusive perspective of the US mission in it. So the person has questioned that can physically challenged alumni also apply for the grant under ASG?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If physically challenged alumni can apply, we've had physically challenged alumni in the past, and they put together good projects, as Waqar mentioned earlier. So I would encourage everyone, including physically challenged people, to apply.
Right, thank you. Moving on to the very interesting and important questions, and I would like both of you to elaborate on this question with your experience and the perspective. The question is, what are some tips to make your proposal interesting in order to have a fair chance of approval? So anybody can take the lead out of you two.
Well, Waqar mentioned earlier that we're looking for people to surprise us, to give us a project that we hadn't thought of before, but one that makes sense, and someone who can elaborate why the project makes sense. That's something that we're going to give strong consideration to. So we're looking for novel ideas, something that hasn't been done before, something that gets us excited, and something that'll be valuable to the community. Those are the kinds of things we're looking for.
Well, I can add my perspective in that as well, because I've been looking after the monitoring of the small grants in my area as well. So I would just like to add a tip in it that please make sure that your proposal is the need of time. And basically, it is a need of time that if there's a problem in your community and that needs to be addressed. For example, when the COVID started, and we have seen a lot of alumni who are giving health awareness through their virtual programs and small grants. So make sure that whatever you are proposing, it makes sense as per the need of time, the issue, and your geographical area as well. So make sure that the area is addressed, the problem is addressed in your area as well, so that the people in your community can benefit from you, because alumni are like specific areas are catering different problems as per the demographics and the geographical location in Pakistan. Each province has their own issues relating to their demographics and geographical area. So please make sure that your proposal makes sense and is the need of time. Vakar, would you like to add to it?
Yes, everything, Paul, Ashab, I agree. From the approval perspective and from the reviewer side, um, I think my experience tells me that focused on your activity. If you, a lot of people have great ideas, but they, for some reason, cannot explain it or justify it. So this is where you will get stuck most of the time. So try to explain and justify like why this project should be funded. You may love it and you may feel it passionate, but a third person sitting maybe 1,000 miles away from you has to convince that this is a good idea. Another thing is, while developing your proposal, again, focus on your idea, focus on your activities, and please do not focus on budget. We have seen proposals where people start with the budget and then um, build their activities around, because like I just mentioned that your maximum budget is 1 million rupees. So this is just a number. It only tells you that you cannot cross that number. But it doesn't have to be 1 million. It can be 900,000, 800,000, 600,000, or some crooked number like 709,059 rupees. But we've seen proposals where it says like food 100,000, accommodation 200,000, travel 300,000, and now give me 1 million rupees. So this tells me that the whole focus was on budget and not on the activities. So we have absolutely no negative point if you send a proposal of 100,000 out of uh, 1 million rupees, as long as the idea and activities are good. Any budget, again, all the reviewers, they've been doing this for last 8-10 years. uh, it is very easy to judge that if the activities were the focused or the budget was the focused. And we are always here to help you. Most of us are not project management specialists. We have an email that we'll share with you at the end, ast@uscp.pk. Anytime you face any problem developing your activities or developing your budget, write to us and we'll get back to you very quickly.
That was all very excellent
Right, thank
advice.
you.
Yeah, all our listeners
Exactly,
should
I
pay
was about to
close
say that.
attention.
Also, I would like to add that once you have prepared a proposal, make sure that if you can get it checked by your fellow alumni or someone who has already scored a grant, it will help you to point, they will help you in pointing out the mistakes, and they can always refine you. And you all, the alumni that are basically our audience and are listening to us, they know that we have specific Facebook groups as well, in which they can network with our other alumni as well, and they can ask questions if they need help. It's all about networking and lifting each other up. So that would be a great help for the alumni who are just applying for the first time to have better chances to score the grant. And the next question that I can pick from the questions and answers from the chat section is, can I discuss my project idea in summary with the grants team before formally submitting the whole proposal? Vakar, I guess
you can send us a question. We can answer the question. One thing that we will not do, if you send me 3 ideas and ask me to which one is the good one or which one has the more chance of getting approval, I cannot do this. So that tells me 2 things. One, you are not sure which idea is the best of the best. So don't expect reviewers to know this. So finalize your project. If you have any question, if you have any idea, if you want to refine it, sure, send us an email. And like Ashab said, you have a great resource on your hand. You start with the blog page. You send us an email. You have your local chapter leadership. You have people who have done these small grants before. We have a network of over 35,000 people. A lot of very experienced people who have done these before, people who are project management specialists. people who have been teaching project management at the universities. So locate those people and they will be happy to help you. If you can find them, we can connect you with those people.
Exactly. And Vakar, if you can also tell them about like more than one alumni can apply the same project, like in a group.
Yes, one person has to be the primary applicant, but like I said, you have to build a team to do different tasks. So we love the project which have many different PON members doing different tasks within the same project.
Right. And
Exactly.
Shab, if I could just circle back to what
Sure.
Wakar said earlier, we encourage our applicants, as Wakar said, to get advice. But what we won't do is pre-screen them. We won't screen them first and tell you how to improve them in total, because that's not fair to everyone else. So please do seek advice. There's a lot of advice available, but we won't do any pre-assessments.
Right, Paul. And one point that is needed to be clear is that when you're working as a group in alumni, so make sure that since the alumni are doing a volunteer work, there won't be any fee for the co-alumni who's in your project. So most of the time, this is the question as well, that will we be paying the fellow alumni for their services or something like that? So I guess, Vakar, we need to be clear on that as well.
Yes, you can, like I said, different members can apply, and we will be dealing with only one person in the books, because funds will be transferred to one person. But
Right. Moving on to the next question. That it's an open question for both of you. So, what points or factors may result in rejection of an AST? So, let's talk about the don'ts. We'll talk about the do's and like let's move towards the don'ts.
What will result in rejection? As Wakar said earlier, plans that aren't well thought out, plans that aren't specific. The technical things will result in a rejection. Wakar?
and also, rejection does not mean you don't have a good idea or your proposal was not good enough. Um, we receive on average around 100 proposals in each cycle, and regardless of how much money we have, we cannot fund all of those. Um, uh, Nothing is unlimited, so each cycle we decide we'll fund like maybe 5 or 3 or 6 proposals, and guess what, only the best of the best, top of the top, will get selected. So if your proposal ranks number 6 and we are only funding 5, so I would say don't just get discouraged. Just because you did not get funding, that does not mean you have a bad idea. um, when we do feel there are some things that need improvement, we will write you back at the end of the process. But mostly it's just because someone else's idea was very well developed or more needed, or uh, for whatever reason. So again, I tell this to PON members all the time, that if you are not getting the funding, that does not mean we did not like your idea, or you have a horrible idea or a bad idea, or it's just not doable. It's just some financial limitation that even though we love 50 of those proposals, we cannot fund 50 of those proposals.
Exactly. And as
Right.
Shab said earlier, sometimes the timing is just right for a particular proposal and it's not right for another proposal. So we'll have to deal with that too.
Right. And also, I would like to add as well that it's just not about, we have to make sure that Alumni Small Grant is not all about the idea, it's about the implementation as well. So sometimes if your grant is placed next to the person whose idea is a bit lesser than yours, but it's all about the implementation as well, because we also have to check the reality of how much doable the project is. If you are able to convince us in a way that the implementation process is satisfactory. So this is one of the factors that your grant gets rejected, although if even your idea is in the top of the list. Finally, make sure that your figures are very reality based, they're doable, and your timelines are also doable, as we have a very specific timeline for our grants as well. Right. So Waqar, there's another question. It's a like financial question that it says that will tax also be deducted from the grant money if I'm successful in getting it?
Yeah, we get this question a lot, and this is not some salary or income for any grantee. So when we transfer the money to your account, we are only transfer it for a very small period of time, which is a maximum of 4 months, and you have to spend all those amount out of your account. So at the end of the year, you don't have to pay tax on that because you only pay tax on your income. This is not an income for you. Second thing is, whenever you are spending money on, if you are buying something or engaging somebody, uh, getting a big hall at Marriott Hotel, those vendors will charge you tax, and which is perfectly fine. They know how much tax they have to charge, and we ask you to pay all the government taxes that the vendor is. So vendor is responsible to send you the bill with the taxes. As a grantee, you cannot take money out of it because you are not a federal government or provisional government appointed tax representative. So you cannot deduct tax and go and deposit in FPR account tomorrow. So again, this is not an income to you. You are not liable to pay tax on that. But when you are acquiring any product or services, that vendor will charge you the tax, which is totally fine for us.
Right. Thank you, Waqar. We've just like left with 3 to 4 more minutes. So we are open to question if somebody wants to ask. Meanwhile, I can ask a question to Waqar that what is basically the timeline between two grants? If alumni have scored a grant, after how many months or timeline he can apply for another grant? Since he cannot apply in the next cycle, like consecutively.
You have to wait 3 months after the successful closure of your current grant. So whenever your grant is closed mean all the activities are done of your previous grant, and you send us the closing reports, and that can take 2 weeks to 2 months depending on the paperwork. And once we settle all the remaining accounts and send you a letter that now your grant is closed, that's where your time period starts. And after 3 months, whenever the next cycle is, you can apply.
Right, sounds good. And I believe we don't have any further questions. So I would just like to repeat and reiterate that the special themes and the open themes, so you can apply for that. The themes are quoted on the website or PON blog page. It can be, if you have any further questions, you can write in the comment box, then we'll answer to that. And the last day to apply for the current session is 31st January 2022.
And I just like to have one final request, advice. Please do not wait till January 31st, especially not till 11:45 on January 31st, because on February 1st, I will be seeing a lot of emails where we're saying like, my internet was down, my electricity was out, I was not able to upload the file, so please extend the uh, 1 day, 2 day deadline. And my answer will be, this is an automated system. I want to help you, but I cannot because I cannot go back in automation and put the new date in. So if you miss that deadline, you have to wait for June or July. I don't know when the next cycle is. So just pretend your deadline is 25th or 26th. Simple.
That's very good advice.
Right. I'll take the last question and then we'll wrap up. It's from Anika Bano. She says that my organization is registered under Social Welfare Act, but don't have yet signed MOU. So can I apply?
Is Anika Bano has to be a PON member. We don't need her organization. This is between PON and individual members. Even if the grant is approved, the fund will go to Anika Bano's personal account. So we don't need an MOU, and we don't need if her organization is registered or not registered. Even she doesn't need organization for this.
Right. Thank you, Waqar. And I will just like to thank you both, Paul and Waqar, for your valuable insights. And I would request everyone who is ready to just pitch in some interesting ideas to help their communities, please just grab your laptop, start drafting your points, and just go into your community, discuss with your fellows, and bring in more people in your project so that you have all the perspective in answering the questions or problems in your communities. So with that, Paul, would you like to say your closing remarks, and Waqar as well? Then we can wrap up this session.
Well, I hope this session has been helpful for all the people who will be submitting proposals. And I personally am looking forward to reading the proposals. I know the rest of the team is as well. So I'm going to wait until after the deadline, and anxiously we'll go through those proposals. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and I just have a couple of announcements that we are planning 2 more similar sessions in the coming weeks. So please keep visiting this Facebook space. Next session will be on more nitty-gritty of how to fill and develop a proposal, and then another one before the deadline we'll be talking to few past successful ASG grantees. So that will also be very helpful. So stay tuned. Thank you.
Right. Thank you both. So the deadline, as we have discussed, is 31st January 2022. Don't forget that, and kindly apply before that. So with that, we came to the end of this session. So everybody take care of yourself and take care of people around you. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.